Just let me know in the chat box you can hear me enough. Okay, guys, before we start here. Just let me know you can hear me in the chat box while we wait for people to come on, guys. Okay. Just give us a few minutes, Tama, because I don't know what happened. I don't know what's happened there. While we wait for people to log on. Yeah, that was the link that I got yesterday off them, so I'm not too sure why it's not working. I did have to restart my computer there, so when I was logged in live, so maybe they changed the link. Okay, this is people log on there. Just let me know you're logging on. That you're on before we start. For some reason, Webinar Jam changed the link of the webinar. Not too sure why. Yeah, so they changed the link. Just give us 5 minutes till everyone starts to log on. So for some reason, the webinar changed the link that was sent out. Okay, just let me know you're on. So there's more people logging on now. So another couple of minutes and we'll get started with the webinar today, guys, where we'll be discussing price action. So just let me know the sound's okay and you can see the screen as we get set up here. Yeah. Good, Wayne. Welcome, man. Just another minute or two. For some reason, I'm not too sure why, but I had to restart my computer and was logged in. I was logged on around 5 to 1 and had to restart 5 to 2, sorry, and had to restart my computer. And for some reason, it's changed the back office in the webinar changed the link. So there's more people logging on now. As you log on, just let me know the sound's okay and the screen's okay. You can see the screen okay. So what we're going to be talking about today is price action, just really how I analyze the markets. And then I use that analysis in conjunction with my trading system to find the best entries. So I'm just moving this so I can see the chat. Okay. And just if you have any questions, guys, just let me know in the chat box as we go along, and I'll read them out. So what we're going to talk about is just basic the principles. Has everyone here got my ebook? or read my ebook, you get free over at the website. Okay. Let's start. Okay, so when I start analyzing markets, I start to analyze the US dollar first. And the charts we're going to be looking at today is just the higher time frames, the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. Okay, so I always start off in the monthly. I'll just move a lot of this stuff here. Okay, the first thing I look for on the chart is areas in the chart where price is likely to, stop and reverse. Okay, and I'm always looking to trade in the direction of the higher time frame trend. Just get rid of this now. Okay. So you can see I've zoomed out here on the US dollar. Okay, you can see we're quite clearly heading down at the mid on the US dollar. Just zoom in. Okay, so we're heading down. Let's draw that trend line. You just draw the last two swing highs. So swing high here, and then the swing high too. That's for your trend line. Okay, so I'm looking before that area broke out here. Just as he's log on, guys, just let me know you can hear me and see me. So we're looking at the monthly chart here, and price on the monthly is retracing this last leg up here. Okay, I would just zoom out. It's at a key area here where it broke out from. Okay, so in the monthly chart, what I'm looking for is areas that cause new lows in the downtrend. Okay, which is here. Okay, so we've been moving down. Price obviously stopped here, bounced, and in this area here caused this new low to come down to here, which essentially we could be targeting this area down here in the monthly, the higher time frames. Basically, what these areas that I look for are areas that caused actually achieve something in the trend, like this area up here. Okay, Tama, I think this is on YouTube Live later on. Just let me know you can hear me, guys, as he's logging on, because there's a lot of people on here and no one's speaking. I need some interaction, so I know you can hear me and see me. Okay, so the US dollar at the minute, you're looking at the monthly. We're looking at the zones, possible we get it back in on this downtrend. Okay, the monthly's clearly down at the minute. This area here caused this break of this trend line. Next, we want to zoom into the weekly. Now, if we look at the weekly, we've got a wee small area here. And you should have the picture, Tama. Can see it now, Tama? Okay, so we know on the on the monthly chart we were tracing this move up here. We're now retracing that down, so we want to look for areas in this here, and this leg up that cause new highs, and there's nothing really in it. An area that I look for is an area that's after a down move, it pauses, like this area here. Price dropped, paused, and then made a new low. So this is an area I'm going to be looking at, 92, to get back in this downtrend. On the weekly, if we zoom out to the week into the weekly, we can see we've got a small area here. So price, this leg up here, price paused with the red candle. If I can just, so here, see we had a move up. This is also an area here because it caused a new high in the trend. A new high being price rallied up, paused, dropped, and then, yeah, I'm still on the same chart, Tama. Price rallies, pauses, and then rallies again. So this is an area of interest for me as the price comes back down towards it for a possible buy trade in the lower time frames. Same as this area here where we are now at the on the US dollar. It's also a key area on the monthly where we are now because where it broke out after this period here. Price broke out of here. And we come back down to that area now. On the weekly, it's pausing that now, and we're getting a divergence on the weekly. So a divergence being here, this is my divergence indicator, which is just basically telling me that price has gone up, or the indicator's gone up, and price is still going down, which is telling me there's divergence, which is telling me a slow enough momentum on the charts. And if we zoom into the daily chart, you can see that even more. Which the shorter time frames, the US dollar is coming up to around this 92 area. Okay. So I'm I'm looking at the higher time frames first. I'm looking for areas of interest that cause new highs and lows in the current trend and the previous trend. So this is the current trend down here. This is the current down leg here that we're in now. It's down. It's retracing this up leg here. So what we want to do, can everyone else hear me, or is it just Tom that's having problems? That working now? But you can't see. Okay. Everyone else on here can hear me? See me? Okay. Thanks, Wayne. Okay, so let's just look at. Okay. So there's a few things I'm looking for. Start trading, and that is I'm looking for zones, the direction of the trend, and momentum, which is I judge by the MACD divergence coming into different levels. Okay, so let's look at Euro USD is not on this, so let's get a new chart. Okay. Euro USD. Okay, so blank chart in the Euro USD. We're going to zoom out to the monthly chart first. Okay, first is first on the monthly. See this area of support here we are at the minute. It's broke up 3 on the monthly. So what I'm looking for now on the monthly chart is, okay, we know we're in an uptrend clearly, and we're retracing this down leg here on the monthly chart. So I'm looking for areas on this leg here that cause new lows in this trend, and there isn't really nothing there apart from this area up here, which was the start of this move down here all the way up at 136. Okay, so if I can't find anything on the monthly charts, I'll zoom into the weekly, but also I'll mark this area here, these areas here. So look at this area here in the monthly. This was the start of this leg up here that caused this new high and caused the breakout of this area here, down here, caused this new high. So this is an area we look to trade from in the future as it comes down to it. If it comes down to it, it's likely looking like we're heading north on the Euro USD. Next, this here area here, we've had a rally up, we've had a pause in the trend, and then the rally continues here. So this is another area we'll look to trade from in the future, because price rallied, it paused, dropped, and then it rallied again, so it caused a new high in the trend. So I'll just mark that area. See, a lot of people would trade this like support and resistance, so just have a line here and a line there. I trade it as a zone, so from the top of this candle to the bottom of the low in the actual candle, from the open to the low. Okay, so that's your monthly marked out. We'll then zoom into the weekly. It's into rallying on the weekly. Okay, but you can see here, but this is the leg, this is the weekly leg that we're tracing here from all the way up here. Okay, so what I want to do is mark areas that cause new lows in this trend down here. Okay, so I'm looking. There's one here, we small area there. That's what I call an area within a zone. Then we'll look down, price dropped, paused here. So we're looking here. There's another area here. See, price rallied down, it jumped up and then paused again. And then created a new low in the trend. So this is obviously an area I'm looking to trade from. Another area is where we are now. And I'm nearly sure that was taken out. No. And you'll see as we go on here, as price moves into these areas that we look for in the higher time frames, you'll actually be able to tell, look, see price slowing down on the 4-hour and the daily charts. As you're seeing now, we're getting a lot of divergence on we can get divergence on the weekly. And this was another area here that we've just come into. On the Euro USD. I'm also zoom in to the current trend to see if there's any smaller areas that cause new highs in this current trend up, which we have here. Okay, and this small area here. No, sorry, not that area. The reason that's not an area, because this was your trend up, your leg up, and this here did not create a new high. This here was the area that created the new high, rally into this zone from the previous leg. Just let me know you can understand me, okay, guys, as we go on here. And if you have any questions regarding zones or what I'm actually doing here. So I'm basically just going from the higher time frames down, dissecting the chart, looking for areas that cause new highs in trends and new lows in trends. No questions, guys, as we go on? Any questions as we go on before we move on to the next point? Okay, so what we've done so far, we've went on to the monthly chart. We have simply looked at the current trend line, which is an uptrend, which is the last two swing lows. We connect them together here, which gives us our uptrend. What this current price leg is doing, it's actually retracing all the way up this huge leg down to the Euro USD. So we need to look left and look at this leg down for any areas that cause new lows on the chart. An area being where price has dropped, paused, and then dropped again. You can actually see and the monthly where this area is without zooming in, which is here, where it is now. So this gives us an area we'll be looking to short from in the future, which is currently. Okay. And this is what's happening in the euro at the minute. Okay, we've zoomed into the weekly chart and we've looked for areas within the weekly on this leg down that could possibly give us a retracement, which is where we are now on the charts. So we're going to move on to the next stage, which is watching price slow down. Okay, which you can actually see on the daily chart here. Okay, prices, if we look at the MACD down the bottom here, price has slowly been making its way into this weekly level. So it has. So price has slowly been making its way up to this. Screen's paused for some reason. Okay. So we've zoomed into the daily chart. We've identified key areas on our weekly and our monthly, i.e. our weekly chart where we are now. We're actually getting a divergence signal on the weekly. We'll just zoom into the daily chart, which we're going to look at price as it's coming into this key area that we've identified on our chart. So you can see price rallying up, and if we just zoom in, you see the candles getting smaller and smaller and smaller as it enters the area. Let's back up test it. If you look at the MACD, which is very important to look at as it comes into these important levels, you want to see price go higher in the MACD, especially if you want looking for a sell trade. You want to look for in the MACD for the price to be going higher and the MACD to be moving lower as it is now. You can see as we've entered this area on the weekly, price hits its peak here, drops, and then creates a new high, and then drops again, which is telling us we get into a move down here. It's actually hit this area on the daily chart. So as it's coming back down here, it's going to be looking to hit these areas as it comes back down. So it's already hit the first area, which is here, had a bounce, and it's heading back down towards it here. So key areas I would look for the trade from to get back in on the uptrend is down here. Now what I do is I use my trading system. We'll just look at the day trading profile, the swing trading profile. So the reason why price bounced here was because simply this area here caused this new high in this uptrend on the daily chart. Price retraces, so that's telling me there's going to be some buying interest there, because just basically the way it jumped off that created that new high. Goes down, touches it, get another pop here. So at the minute we are just moving sideways, and I think we're going to head down towards this area here. But what I like to see on my system is actual signals come to the areas of interest. So let's move on to another. I'm just going to dissect charts one by one, and you'll kind of get the gist of what I'm doing here. Has anyone any questions? No. So next chart is USD JPY. So we look at the USD JPY. So we're going to zoom out to the monthly. Okay. Monthly chart. Again. Let's delete all this. Okay. So quite clearly, this was your last in the monthly. This was your last leg up, and this move down, and then this next leg down. Possibly target this area here. So what we want to look for now is areas on this up leg that cause new highs. Which, if you look at this area here, so that area's already been taken out by this drop here. The next area is down here, which you see it just more or less touched there. And you can see the way this works as I draw these zones. What we're actually looking for in the chart. Okay, so price had this big, huge rally up here. It actually stopped, retraced, and then stalled here. And then this area here caused this new high in this uptrend here. So we had this rally, pause, and then another rally, and caused a new high. So it's an area of interest. This was your next area, but this area has already been taken out by this drop down here. Okay, so this will be an area to look for. So what we want to do now is zoom into the weekly. We'll also mark some areas here. This area up here. You can see the way this prices, this here's quite a strong area in the monthly. So this was an area that caused this leg down here, comes up, and then this area here caused this huge drop down here. And we complete back into it and dropped again down towards the area that caused this run into this level here, which was here. Bounces, and we're heading south again. Which we'll have to zoom into the weekly to get more levels. Because on the second test, this will likely break. Look at the weekly. Okay. See what happened here. Another area hit nicely on the weekly. If this leg down here, this leg here retraced this leg. So this leg here retraced this leg back up and hit this nice area here. So we're looking at this, since we're tracing this huge leg here, we're looking for areas that cause new highs in this uptrend here on the weekly chart. And there we have it in here.